Welcome to Loco Gringo, Mexico, the place where we transform a tourist into a traveler, because you deserve to see more of the world than just what's in a guidebook. Each week, we talk with amazing locals who know the Riviera Maya and Yucatan like only a local can, and get them to share their tips and insights on the local scene, culture, and cuisine from a local's perspective. So, pour yourself a margarita, grab a comfy chair, and let's get the show going.
Hola, everybody. This is Loco Gringo, Mexico, and I'm your host, Kay Walton. And today we're recording from the Riviera Maya at Villa Esprit del Mar in Acamal. So glad you could join us. And we're going to be talking to Paulina Rivera. And Paulina, man, I met her, believe it or not, on Twitter. And so she's got a great story, and I don't want to delay any longer because she's got a lot of great tips for us. So let me introduce you to Paulina. Hey, Paulina, it's great to have you as a guest on our show today. How are you?
Hi, Kay. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, Paulina, man, you know, it's really great that a lot of our team members here at Loco Gringo have agreed to be guests on the podcast because they have great stories to tell. And I think that, we met each other on social media back in, I think it was 2009. So I'm thrilled to be able to share your story. So Paulina, for all of our listeners, why don't you explain how you got to the Riviera Maya and everything, where you're from and that?
Well, I got here on 2007. I wasn't meant to be here, but Riviera Maya had the only option for me to do my internship. It was at Barcelona Hotels, and they provided free accommodation and meals while I was doing my internship from college. So that's why I decided to come here in the first place.
Now, where's home for you? Is that Veracruz?
I am originally, yes, from Veracruz, but I majored in tourism in Tabasco, actually. So when I finished college in Tabasco, I came straight to Riviera Maya to do my internship in Barcelona Hotels.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, and you were at Barcelona when we met on Twitter.
Yes.
That was many years ago.
I remember very well.
So after going to school for tourism, so being in tourism, how did you find it? I mean, you did your internship, and obviously years later you're still here. What do you find so interesting and compelling in working in tourism and to get people excited about being here?
Well, I think tourism it's the perfect opportunity for me to reach like travelers. That is why I major in that. It gives you the opportunity to talk to them, to learn different languages, to travel. A lot of people like to travel, but I decided to come here and work for the tourism, for the travelers. So I think it's a great choice so far. I'm loving it.
Now, do you being in tourism and working with the travelers, and I know you work very closely with all of our guests at Loco Gringo, do you find that there's that your passion really drives you to do it, that you love it? Do you love the fact that of the environment or the Riviera Maya, that it just keeps you excited about it? Or is it more the working one-on-one with a customer that just is one of those things that you find very rewarding about your job?
I think Riviera Maya combines everything. For the people who major in tourism, for the travelers, for just if you enjoy to help others, I think this is the best place to be at. I feel very passionate in helping others, so customer service is perfect for that. I tried management, I tried different areas in tourism, but this is what I like the most. Helping other people, just in general, do the the stuff for them that I would have loved for others to do for me when I first arrived to Riviera Maya.
Now, do you spend most of your time here in the Riviera Maya, or do you travel over to? Do you get to Veracruz often, or are you finding that most of your time is spent here, exploring the coastline and doing all there is to do here?
I actually spend most of my time here. A lot of people say, and I agree with them, that because locals, when we get asked, okay, but where are you going for vacations? And we're like, we're on vacations. We're actually living in a place where everybody wants to be. So we don't like to travel very often. Most of the people, they just stay here, and I agree, because we have the beach, we have the people, we have delicious food. So to me, I of course I miss my family, so I try to go at least once a year or once every 2 years. But I love the area. I love spending my days off just doing short trips to Tulum, to Cancun, to Merida. I spend most of my time here at the Riviera Maya. I love the area.
You know, the one thing, because I know you personally, Paulina, is I know you love the area, but I know also that you have a huge passion for animal welfare.
Yeah. Yes. I love rescuing dogs, street dogs. I love helping others to rescue dogs, just animals in general, but I'm more focused on dogs here. I use my house to foster some of them, and then when we find good homes, then we just give them for adoption.
That's excellent. And you're familiar with Coco's animal welfare?
Yes, I've been fostering a few dogs from SOS El Arca, which is the dog shelter in Playa del Carmen. But then I also know Erika Flores and other people at Cocos in another shelter in Cancun, which is called Tierra de Animales. So we're basically like a big family, because our main goal is basically the same, which is rescuing animals.
No, and it's very important. Animal welfare, certainly. It's closer to my heart, as I have my own little rescue dog, Chili, sitting by my side here.
Yeah.
But no. But I mean, it's been very interesting in terms of animal welfare, because there were a lot of feral cats and stray dogs years and years ago, and I think through all these great organizations like Tierra de Animales y Cocos, that a lot of people like yourself and these organizations are able to make a difference in the unwanted animal population, but the general health and welfare of these animals.
And I think the more travelers know, the better, because they usually help us. So it's good. It is very rare that we get travelers and they're not willing to help us. So it's usually the travelers and local people working for the same. It's great.
No, I think it's wonderful, and I will say that anybody who's interested in being involved while they're here, is it vacationing or visiting in the area, that if they want to get involved with animal welfare, animal rescue, or if you just want to show some animals, I know Coco's has kitten cuddles during the week. If you just want to show some love to some of the animals while you're here, that is a great opportunity for people to participate, get to meet some of the locals like yourself, and people at these grassroots organizations to be able to show some love and to get a little local involvement while they're here on vacation.
Yeah, that is correct. SOS El Arca, they also have like a program that if you can't adopt a dog, you can at least take him just for the day, just to take the dog with you to town, to just for the dogs to have a one day of family like, or sort of just some fun out of the shelter.
Well, that's great. And I know that on our show notes, we can put links to these organizations and people can reach out to you if they want to get more involved with animal welfare while they're here on their trip. Now, Paulina, it's really exciting and I love is that you're our concierge here at Loco Gringo and you have a lot of involvement with our guests. But I know that being concierge, you get the great opportunity to go out on some of these adventures. And I wanted to ask you, and actually, it is some. What are some of those favorite? You've had some adventures. What are some of the adventures that you've been on that you really love, or maybe some that really kind of took you out of your comfort area, and you're really glad that you tried them?
Actually, for me, it was snorkeling. I know a lot of people right now practice this activity, but for me, cenote snorkeling, it was very extreme. I tried the Cristalino cenote, which is in Ixpuja area, and that's very daring for me. That was extreme because you get to see a lot of marine life and just a lot of things that you don't usually get to see on the beach.
Now, and you're not a particularly strong swimmer, so I'm sure that it was a little bit,
Yes.
a little. Now we're getting you more and more into the water as time goes on.
Yeah, it was a challenge for sure. Yes.
and I know actually we even have some people from the Akumal Dive Shop have actually offered to get you into a Discover Scuba program. We'll make a diver out of you yet.
I'm gonna though. I'm actually scheduling a date soon for to try one of the programs at Akumal Dive Shop.
Oh, that's excellent. And the one nice
I'm guessing in a few more weeks.
It's beautiful. And, for people who are not really exposed to snorkeling and diving, there is an experience, and I'm sure if we'll put on the link for Paulina's blog because she'll write about her experience. But there's a program called Discover Scuba, and I used to teach it way back in the day when I first moved here. But Discover Scuba is an opportunity for people who don't know anything about scuba diving to go into the swimming pool with a tank, and you get to breathe on a regulator and learn what it's like to breathe underwater, and you're under the supervision of a certified dive instructor, and you get to have the experience of what it's like to have the equipment and get some basic skills under your belt, so to speak. And then people have to Discover Scuba if they want. And Paulina, we'll make sure we'll send a photographer with you if you want to go. After Discover Scuba, if you want to, if guests want to then go out and do a shallow dive with the dive instructor, then the dive shops do make that opportunity available to people. So I think I'll be very interested, Paulina, to hear about your experience with a Discover Scuba class.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be great. They actually provide other services. I've tried the catamaran tour, which is amazing. The Robinson Crusoe. It's really awesome. It's just you with your family in the catamaran. They have open bar and you're sailing and you're snorkeling on the ocean. That is a great option too.
Now, some of the other groups you've been out with Loco with Quickie, haven't you, Captain Quickie?
Yes, Loco Quickies. That is a crazy trip too.
And now I know Captain Quickie, and yes, he's kind of crazy. But what was? Tell me a little bit about his trip and your experience going out with Quickie.
Well, the best part is that he's local, and he knows the least crowded places to go. He's also very focused on animal welfare and just protecting nature and stuff. So the places where he takes you are really, really amazing, and he makes sure that the trip, the whole day, the experience is enjoyable for the customer, for the people, and also for the environment.
That's great. Quickie's a really good guy. He has a lot of local history, which is nice because there's a lot of newer faces here over the years in the Riviera Maya, but Quickie's family the history of his family dates way back, and so he's a really fun guy, and he has a lot of interesting information to share about the Riviera Maya. What other experiences that have you done recently that you really think people should experience while they're here?
I also try, most of the people who come here, they try the usual touristy places or trips, but I recommend more the community trips. I have one that I tried and that I really, really loved. It was with the Ojos Mayas. It was a day trip to the community, to the Mayan village El Señor, and it is very amazing. Once you arrive, you get to meet a lot of people, local people. You don't see other people that is not actually living in that Mayan village. They have an old man who tells you the story of the town, of the area. There is another person who actually teaches you about the economic activities. He shows you around, and there is also a local doctor, which is a lady, and she knows a lot about plants and other remedies, but are 100% local. So it gives you like an idea on how the Mayan people actually live in the area. It's really amazing. It's a different opportunity to have a closer look to the actual life of the Mayan people here.
I've heard great things. You are not the first person who has spoken very highly of the tour. I've heard lots of people who have gone have been really fascinated with being within the Mayan community and seeing how they live, things like the shaman and how they use plants for medicinal purposes. And I know we did a podcast with Angel Carrera from Ojos Mayas, and he spoke very highly. So that's great. And they keep getting sending invitations to me, but I just haven't had the chance. But after your recommendation, I think I'm gonna have to try it for sure.
Yeah.
What now, Paulina? You've got these tours, and we'll put out for everybody. If you listen to this podcast, whether it's about Discover Scuba or Captain Quickie, we'll have links over to how you can get in touch with Paulina about these things. But Paulina, you've got a great opportunity. You've been able to, see lots of different things and meet a lot of different people. Being the concierge here with Loco Gringo. But there's some things. What do you do on your days off? I mean, you got a great job. I might want your job, because you're going out with you're going out with Captain Quickie and Ojos Mayas and everything. Let me ask you, where do you, in your off time, what are some of the favorite things that you do that you think people should take advantage of while they're here visiting the area?
Usually on my days off, I enjoy the live rock music in town. I love the local bands. They have really great variety in rock music, live rock music, and I also like a beach. It's a private beach, which is near Tulum. It's Tanca. I love it because it's not crowded, and you get to use the.
Is that Caleta Tanca?
Yes, it's Caleta Tanca.
Ah, okay.
I love it. If you haven't been there, you have to. It's really beautiful. The place is really nice, and the cenote is a small cenote, but you get to enjoy it, and there is not crowded. You get they have a small restaurant on site, and you only pay 100 pesos per person to use all the facilities. It's a great place.
Wow, interesting. I'll have to check that out. For sure. What else do you have to share? Because I mean that I love it because you're always out and about doing stuff. So it's always interesting to hear what you're doing.
Yeah, I also recommend to check the cenotes route in Puerto Morelos. It's like 20 kilometers full of cenotes on each side. Some of them are open, some of them are closed cenotes, and a few ones are actually inside an eco park. So you have zip lines or other activities like selvatica. I I had the opportunity to try Siete Bocas, Seven Mounts in English, and it's a great place. The first four cenotes are, it is called Siete Bocas because there are like seven different entrances, but the first four are like open, and for the rest you actually have to dive to get there. It's really amazing. It's a really amazing place.
Now, we had a big all of us as a company, we all went out to Valladolid that one day, and I wanted to ask, is that what were some of your favorite things that you did in Valladolid that were just that you were just surprised and amazed with?
I really enjoyed the chocolate factory. The chocolate factory, I really liked it. You get to make your own chocolate if you want, and to try different kinds of chocolate. They even have like spicy chocolate, which you don't expect to have in there, but it's really tasty. It's really good. And I also love the folk art museum. A lot of things to see. The rooms are different, but each one has its own charm. It's a huge place, and they have a lot of history there.
And could you tell me, you had a very special experience, and I so wish I had been with you. That you got to go.
Oh.
You got to go to the catacombs beneath the convent.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. This
How
San
did
Bernardino convent.
and how did that happen? And
Actually,
what was down
it is
there?
not included.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you once you get to the convent, you have to sign at the entrance and just pay the entrance fee. But if you tip a little bit to the guide, then you get to see the catacombs, which are, it's a small place, but the guide has a lot of knowledge in the area, in the history. So he tells you like how many bodies were buried there, and how long ago it was, how it happened, and everything. It's really good. It's a cold place. It's a small one, and it's really dark, so you need to have like a light, your cell phone or something. But it's a really amazing place.
Awesome. And I know, because I know you so well, I know that you're vegetarian. And I know that we have some of our listeners are vegetarian, so I have to ask, do you have restaurant recommendations for vegetarians?
Oh my God, yes, I do. Of course, I do. I have actually a lot of them in Playa del Carmen, in Acumal area, in Tulum, even in Merida also. In Playa del Carmen, I recommend La Senda, which is on 10th Avenue. They have like more raw vegetarian vegan options. There is also in Akumal, I absolutely loved the homemade ice cream in Turtle Bay Cafe. I loved it. And they also have in La Buena Vida restaurant in Akumal, they have a really good sandwich and quesadillas without the meat or without any meat, so vegetarian 100%. And in Tulum, which is my favorite place of all this area, there is Charlie's Vegan Tacos, which I love. Even for the people who are not vegetarian or vegan, you have to try the tacos there, especially the chicharrón verde. Oh, they're so delicious. They're addictive. They're so good.
That's awesome. Paulina, I want to ask you, what is the best way if people want to say hello to you or ask you questions about the area? How is the best way they can connect to you?
Well, they can reach me over the email. My email is concierge@locogringo.com. I check my email daily, so they can find me there. I also have a cell phone. If they are if they're here, it's 984-196-1049. Or if they're calling me from the States or from another country, is 512-782-9878.
Awesome.
So that's my phone number.
Well, Paulina, I would like to ask you if you would be a guest again, because I would love to talk to you about after your Discover Scuba class. So you can share share the details of your day.
First, if I survive.
You'll survive. I know the instructor, and you're going to do great. But I'd love to keep having you on the show, because you have the opportunity to go to do so many great things, and you have so much information. I'd love to have you as a regular guest, so you can share your experiences and give lots of tips to our listeners.
Of course, I would love to have that opportunity, especially because I get to provide all the updated information for the travelers, for the people coming to the area. So, of course, I would love to share my experience and all the new activities, because this area is changing so fast and very often, and I would love to give as much information as possible to the travelers.
Oh, that's awesome. Paulina, I want to thank you so much for all the information. And I'll just tell all of our listeners that if you go to our show notes at locogringo.com/podcast, we will have links to Paulina's email address, her cell phone number, so you can call her. Please, no calls after a reasonable hour. But we'll also have information and links over to Paulina's blog. She writes some great articles about things to do, and the Loco Gringo directory, which we have all sorts of services and tour companies. So we invite you to check all that information out. Paulina, hey man, thanks so much. You rock, and I love all the information that you share.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I hope to provide more information soon.
Well, a big muchas gracias, and a big thanks to all of you for tuning in today. I'm glad Paulina was with us to share some of the fun adventures that she's been on, and I'm so thrilled that she's agreed to come back to hear about her Discover Scuba class and all the other fun stuff she gets to do. She has one of the best jobs here at Loco Gringo, having all the fun so she can share it with you and help you have a very unique experience when you're visiting the Riviera Maya in Yucatan. I invite you to visit Paulina's website. It's locogringodirectory.com, and we have over 1,500 services ranging from restaurants to dive shops to transfer services and tour companies and everything. You may find some groups that you've been out with. We invite you to leave a review, share some photos, and of course, reach out to Paulina anytime you have questions. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to drop me an email, ask@locogringo.com. Until next week, everybody, hasta la vista.
Thanks for listening. If you like the show, be sure to subscribe. For links, show notes, and more information, head on over to locogringo.com or give us a call toll-free at 800-478-0081.
Porque se tragó la luna, estaba enferma la rana. Su madre soba que soba, dedos de pluma la panza. Pensó ranita que luna era una toronja blanca. Y aunque la luna es de leche, la leche estaba cortada. Croa, croa, dedos de pluma. Croa, croa, dedos de agua. Croa, croa, dedos de pluma.